I've come up with this new acronym, VIMS. Okay. Here's what shows need, right? If they're a drama, they need violence, intrigue, mystery, and sex. Now, Game of Thrones has all four. That's why it's a grand slam home run. Okay, right. Okay, so
Smith
or Smith, either way, right? So now the thing is, so there wasn't a lot of violence. Like there's nobody went to war in the first 2.5 episodes, and I'm a little bummed about that. Or I didn't see battles, etc. But at least I need intrigue. I need someone where I go, oh damn, I didn't think about that. I see you, Tyrion. Okay. But of course, at the end of this, like they Game of Thrones me. They Game of Thrones me. I didn't see it coming. You know why, Ben? Just to your point. They lulled me to sleep. I'm like, this now. Whoa, see, they can cut his hand. Oh, Jesus, they cut his hand. I can't believe it.
And cue the Dropkick Murphys or whatever. And all of a sudden,
like the Bear song.
Yeah.
I love that song.
Okay,
yeah, that was sweet.
So obviously, anybody watching this, you've already seen the episode. You gotta, that's the spoiler thing. Obviously, everybody's familiar with that. So Jaime Lannister's hand gets cut off at the end. And again, I couldn't quite believe it because I thought Jaime Lannister's the Kingslayer. He's gonna be a pivotal character. I mean, Game of Thrones not forever, but for a long time. But if he lost his hand, he's done for.
Yeah, but he's a pretty boy, and he's kind of a sharp-tongued dude. And I never, even though they call him the Kingslayer, and I get it, I always feel like it's a little smirky. Like it's not because he's so heroic and he's such a great swordsman. He was a little shit.
And he stabbed him in the back.
Yeah, oh no, Kingslayer is definitely a little ironic.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, it's such a cool name that you can't help but respect the name, even if it's smirky.
Yeah.
That people are like, oh, like when the big chick fought him, and you talked about it in the last episode, John. You're like, that's the Kingslayer. And she's like, wait a minute, that was a Kingslayer? That wasn't so bad.
He stabbed him in the back. It's not.
Well, he's weak from being imprisoned for months and months, and his hands were tied together.
No, but Gina's right. It's kind of a
little bitch.
Right.
But he's supposed to be one of the best swordsmen.
Supposed to be.
In the 7 planets or whatever it is.
How great is he? He beat Ned when he had 30 guys helping him out.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they didn't really help him. And Ned's a badass, or was.
Ned's a soldier. He's not really a swordsman. Like, he's never about his one-on-one combat.
Although he's just a tad too geeky, but I hear you.
We keep hearing from Jaime about he does have all these victories in battle, but we still significantly, I think, have never.
No. One last thing on that, because it's not fair. Because remember during when they captured him, that they said something like he'd taken down like 30 men or 4 men by himself. Remember, he killed the sons of one of the lords, etc.
Nonetheless, I'm just saying we actually haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's like watching Lincoln again. Like I'd like to hear all about the Civil War without never actually looking through a window, and that's how I feel about Jaime.
He killed Jory Cassell, the guy that was with Ned. He put the dagger through his eye, like contemptuously, just knocks this guy's sword aside early on.
That's true. And the fight with Ned was the one sense that he was. That's
a cold-blooded killer.
But what I think the rehabilitation of Jaime as a character that you forget and like is remarkable.
Yeah.
Because
that's a great point.
I mean, this is a guy aside from forget fucking his sister because whatever. I get that.
But whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You get a pass. You get one.
Right.
Everybody gets one.
And to be fair, she was pretty hot.
She was hot, but he pushed Bram out the window. Like,
that's true.
Lest we forget, he almost killed a child.
He's one of the worst people in any world. Right.
So that's the amazing
He's one of the worst men in all the 7 kingdoms.
Right. But that's the amazing part. It's exactly what I was thinking, Ben. Here's a guy what was his cousin or something that they had sent into his cell, you remember?
Yes.
And he murdered that guy just for a slight convenience, right? Yeah. For a 10% better chance of escaping. And I thought, that's weird. 2 things. One, he's defending the giant lady, what's her name? Brienne of Tarth, right? And I was like, that's a tiny bit human. But what's amazing is that when they cut his hand, I felt bad for him.
Yeah, right.
I realized at that moment that I was rooting for Jaime Lannister, even though that makes no sense.
No, totally, you're rooting for him even before he goes through her father is the Earl of Tarth or whatever. Don't correct me, save yourself. And
the Earl of Tarth,
right? And that he'd pay a king's ransom to get his daughter back. My hunch is that might even be made up. That whole thing.
Yeah.
And partly that's even before that when they're tied together, he's already given her advice. Like he's already looking out for her.